कुछ मुझको, जीवन सांसें और मुस्कान। तुमने दिया है सब कुछ मुझको, जीवन सांसें और मुस्कान। एक तुम ही तो कदम कदम पर हर पल रखते मेरा ध्यान। एक तुम ही तो कदम कदम पर हर पल रखते मेरा ध्यान। इस खौफ भरे माहौल में तुमने मुझको खूब संभाला है। आश भरी विश्वास भरा हर डर से मुझे निकाला है। खौफ भरे माहौल में तुमने मुझको खूब संभाला है। आश भरी विश्वास भरा हर डर से मुझे निकाला है। तेरी रहमत से ही हुआ है मेरा हर लम्हा आसान। तेरी रहमत से ही हुआ है मेरा हर लम्हा आसान। एक तुम ही तो कदम कदम पर हर पल रखते मेरा ध्यान। एक तुम ही तो कदम कदम पर हर पल रखते मेरा ध्यान। मेरे दिल की यही आवाज है, इस दौर में भी कोई राज है। कुछ बेहतर हमें सिखाने का ये वक्त का अंदाज है। ये वक्त का अंदाज है, ये वक्त का अंदाज है। मेरे दिल की यही आवाज है, इस दौर में भी कोई राज है। कुछ बेहतर हमें सिखाने का ये वक्त का अंदाज है। ये वक्त का अंदाज है, ये वक्त का अंदाज है। हम अमल करेंगे आपका और वक्त का ये फरमान। अमल करेंगे आपका और वक्त का ये फरमान। एक तुम ही तो कदम कदम पर हर पल रखते मेरा ध्यान। एक तुम ही तो कदम कदम पर हर पल रखते मेरा ध्यान।
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Good
Om
evening.
Good evening. Om Shanti. Is it clear, the sound?
Yeah, you are very clear, Sister Jaymini. Very clear.
And the lighting is okay?
Yes. Shall we begin?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. Today it's another very fortunate evening for us because we have Sister Jaymini all the way from London with us. And today she is going to share her thoughts about how we can increase the power of concentration. When we were growing up, I remember our teachers, our parents often told us to concentrate. And we heard, but we did not pay much attention to it. However, when we came to Baba, we realized that it is actually a form of power. And to me, it is one of the most fluctuating, inconsistent power, because one day my meditation experience is wonderful, the next day it's just the other way around. And do we need this power? Yes, we do. Why? Because without it, it's going to be a challenge to remember Baba, because his daily request is to remember him alone and no one else. And for that, we really need concentration. And to look into this topic, I think we have one of the best persons with us today. And she is known as a catalyst. Why? Because her very presence makes the impossible possible. That's so great. And SisJaymini has been with Baba for the past 40 years. And currently, she is the main coordinator for the community outreach in the UK, and also facilitates BK activities in the Midlands and London. And since 1992, she has been directing the work of Brahma Kumari's publications in London. And the most inspiring part for me is that in the first 10 years of her spiritual life, she lived and studied with Daddy Janki herself. Do I need to say more? So without further ado, let's move on to SisJaymini. Let's listen and concentrate on what she has to say for us today. Over to you, sister.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
So I'm here in Madhuban.
Oh.
So I'm very happy that I've been here since November. And this power of concentration actually came to me at the right time. So being present here in Madhuban, it gave me an opportunity to do a lot of self-introspection, spend time in silence, and also evaluate where I'm at on my spiritual journey. Constant power of concentration is very interesting power. Why it's interesting? Because without power of concentration, I feel that we cannot be successful in life. I've thought deeply about this power. Because, if you look at the 8 powers, we have all these 8 powers, which are very big powers. But within these 8 powers, I can only achieve them if I have power to concentrate. In this power to concentrate, 2 entities plays very important role. One is mind and the second is intellect. There is some work that I have to do on myself if I really want to improve my power of concentration. Now, power of concentration can be looked at on 2 levels. One can be attention, and second can be memory. Many a times, we come across things in life, especially in our relationships. When someone is talking to me, either at that time, if I'm really present, I'm able to absorb exactly what they are saying, understand it, and implement it if I have to implement that. But important thing is understand it. If I am on the same level, that is, I'm on the same wavelength. If my mind is not preoccupied, so I can actually look at it in this way, that if my mind is preoccupied, and if you are talking to me, what will happen? Would I be able to grasp all that what you have said to me. Take an example of every day we all listen to Baba's Murli. Now, during that time, each one of us, we check ourselves to see where my mind is. I mean, we don't look at it at that time, but what happens is that later on, when we are revising the Murli, at the time of listening, I had heard the same point, which everybody else heard. But then when the Murli points are repeated or revised, I feel at that moment maybe I didn't actually hear it like that. And I ask myself a question, what happened then? Then I go back to the Murli, read the Murli again, and I see, oh yes, Baba did say it like that, the way it was revised. But then I check, where was my mind? What was I doing at that time? So you see, many a times the mind is preoccupied, engaged with some different thought pattern, or something that is bothering me, or something that I have to do, or something that is half done instead of focusing on the Murli. So concentration, I associate that with attention, but also with memory. You know, I remember many things going back 30 years ago. It's all in my memory. But there are many things that 30 years ago, at the same time, I do not remember or recall. Maybe I do not even recall the faces or the people I met or the situations. But many a times, certain things are remembered and certain things are forgotten. So really, if we look at the mechanism of mind, the mind has to play a very important role when it comes to concentration, because we need the presence of the mind, because the mind does a lot of thinking. So with spiritual knowledge, I mean, all of us who are on a spiritual path, we know that with these elevated, pure thoughts of knowledge, we are doing the inner work of cleaning out unnecessary thoughts or thoughts which are not really useful anymore to me now. And within that, I would say even the past feelings, the emotions, the grief, the fear, whatever it is that I'm experiencing, they are surfacing on my, conscious mind. All that kind of interferes in my attention, in my concentration at the present time. And so all this clearing out and all this cleaning out of the old emotions, the fear, the anxiety, that needs to take place, that needs to happen on a daily basis. Only then I can really reach to that heights of what I would say, Baba uses the terminology that when, those soldiers in the army, when they are on the field, they are given orders and they have to follow through those orders. And so at that time, they have to be very present physically, but also mentally. And only then they can follow those instructions which are given to them and do what the needful is at that time. So attention is a very key word when it comes to concentration. Because here in Hindi, the word concentration, focus, we call it ekagrata. Until and unless I have done this inner work, I'm sure that most of us, we are all embarking upon the spiritual journey And we all have a target, we all have aim. So concentration, attention, and with that also comes memory, but at the same time we have a target. We cannot not have our vision focused on the target, which I would say laksha, which is the aim. If I have an aim, a very clear aim, and we have an aim, Baba has given us very clear aim and objective, and our clear aim and objective is, aim is each one of us, we want to reach to the highest capacity that I have, each one has. We each one have our own capacity, our own perfection, that we have to pull ourselves, stretch ourselves to be on that platform. So for that, our aim is, I have to become pure, I have to purify my soul, and also I have to return home. Objective is, yes, now the present time objective is to become an angel and to become a deity. From angel, automatically we get transferred to becoming a deity. You know, which Baba has given us the aim and objective. But before that, now living in this world, we also are able to integrate everything in our life. You know, we look at the current situation, we look at the world, we look at our family scenario, we look at our BK lifestyle, and the amazing amount of spiritual understanding that Baba has given us. I need to use that in order to make things work. Because unless I have this power to concentrate, I cannot become successful in my life. When I say in my life, can be Brahmin life, can be even Lokik life. If I am not focused, if I am not attentive, if I am not really doing this inner work, if I do not have my clear aim in life, then I cannot do the inner work and I cannot be successful. What is the meaning of success here? The meaning of success is to reach to the heights, to achieve that goal that we are here to achieve. And that is our personal goal. The goal is, as per spiritual understanding, the soul has to become pure, the soul has to return home. That is my target. Whatever I do, I do. Am I helping myself to do the work that I need to do in order to return home? So returning home means I, the soul, I'm in the body, right? So we all know what it is that I need to do whilst I'm in the body. I am detached and yet loving. I'm not forging more karma. In fact, I'm settling my karma, whether it's with my body, my other relations, or whatever, or the 5 elements, or the nature. I'm settling, making sure that I do the work that I need to do. And all that happens when there is inner, the word I use here is that the inner silence. Because really my mind, when we talk about mind, man, we talk about mind in relation to peace. We always say peace of mind. We don't say peace of intellect, we talk about peace of mind. It means that the amount of inner silence, the power of silence that I am able to experience, that is what is going to enable me to carry through the journey. Because it's this silence that will enable me to really touch base of my own inner peace. Because peace is my way of life. So when I say way of life, whatever I do, whether I'm thinking, whether I'm speaking, whether I'm interacting, whatever it is I do, I actually come from that space of peace. It's a very beautiful experience to interact from that space of peace. And so the peace is in a very emerged form. It's deep, it's profound, and it's in an emerged form. I can actually be that. So if I experience the heat of anger, there are emotions of sorrow flying around from others or in the world around us. We can see that through these eyes, we can hear through the ears, and we can also, experience it. And yet still, I supersede with this deep experience of peace, and the Hindi word I would say sukh. We say it's happiness, but really it's a deep sense of happiness, bliss that the soul experiences in that space of silence. That is so powerful that it actually changes, it converts into power of silence. I remember there was a time in 1983 or 84 in London. Dadi Janki was unwell for the one whole year. She was not able to actually come down the stairs from her bedroom. She can walk to the Baba's room from her bedroom, but not able to go down the stairs. That is how unwell she was, and that was for the whole year. I observed Dadi every afternoon around 4 o'clock. She would make effort to come out of her bed and sit on the chair. And she sits there in deep silence. When I had gone into the room, there was so much stillness that I did not want to take even a step further, just in case it would disturb her. And she would wonder who is there. So I would kind of stand there by the door and gradually move back. There was so much stillness in the room. Dadi was in deep silence. Actually, that's the time when she herself experimented silence, the power of silence. And she defined in those days silence and dead silence, deep silence. And she would come up with different definition every day. So whenever Dadi had been in that stage, she would actually come out gradually from her physical discomfort, whatever it is she was going through. We didn't have many doctors around that time to come and visit Dadi. And Dadi herself was very reserved and never wanted to have a discussion about her health. She would never want anybody to know what's happening to her. And so she had so much faith in Baba, that Baba is my surgeon, supreme surgeon, and he's going to put me right. He's going to help me to fix this body. And so this is how Dadi's faith and her conviction in Baba and her belief was so deep that it actually took a long time, but gradually she came out of that phase. And when she came out of that phase, she was kind of a renewed person. That's what I saw. She never discussed any physical discomforts with anyone, and she told us very clearly not to even talk about anything that was going on with her body to anyone. And we never talked about it, we never made a discussion. I see that nowadays, you know, in the BK world, it's like a big discussion. But in those days, in 80s, when I was with Dadi, Dadi never made a discussion. She would use Baba's Gyan and she would actually practice and implement every point that Baba was saying in the Murli. And so I remember in 80s when Bap Dada came in Madhuban, we had Om Shanti Bhavan in 81. Yes, we did have Om Shanti Bhavan. And so the Murlis were coming to us then also in the post. But before that, we would get notes from Madhuban. And so Dadi would actually already had that experience. You know, Baba would speak the Murli, but Dadi would already had that experience because every morning after Amrit Vela, she would speak her experience for about 15 minutes to those who are in Baba's room. So there was a big bunch of us in Baba's room. After Amrit Vela, Dadi would relate her experiences. And I know that in those days there were brothers and sisters who were scribbling notes, and they would, those notes of course are there in the library. I know, I've seen it in London. Whatever she spoke at that time, that was part of her experience. So I was recalling that today, that how Dadi used power of silence. So really concentration power, power to concentrate can be developed further when we allow our mind and our intellect to experience or to be exposed to more and more silence. Unless we do this inner work and we enable our soul to experience this silence, we cannot really have that concentration power. You know what will happen? The mind constantly will jump from one place to the other. Constantly there will be distraction, little thing and distraction in the mind. When somebody says something, if I'm speaking, if I'm doing something, I get distracted. So that will be the state of my being if I lack that power to concentrate. And it's very important to have the power to concentrate because we are living in the world of constant commotion. You know, all around us, wherever you go, there's all the time some noise. Physical noise, okay, if we have silence all around, that's very good. But there's also the inner noise of the mind. You know, the mind is constantly chirping away. That has to finish. According to the current times, coming to Madhuban and being here most of the time in Shantivan, I've observed the brothers and sisters here, everybody had an opportunity to spend time in bhattis. So everyone was allocated a week of bhatti. So 1 week, everybody had to sit in the yoga bhatti. And so I had an opportunity to do the same. And I observed that how automatically there was this pull of silence. to go into that space. And it's not that I don't want to talk, but it's just there was no pull of this sense organ, the you know, the mouth. This is a sense organ. So all these senses, the eyes, I want to hear something, no, they all become completely, totally cool. You know, there isn't that curiosity, there isn't that urge of speaking or hearing something or listening to something or seeing something. No, less the better. That was my experience. And so that enabled me to really go into myself deeply. And also, as I go deep into myself and experience more where I'm at about myself, where am I at on the journey, and what are the things I still need to work on myself. So, more and more, when these things become clearer to me, then my path, my road to the supreme abode, my path to the subtle region, my objective that I have to reach to, all that gets much, much clearer. And I get all the tips that I need to use in the present time. So I think one of the things that really will help is to take time out, make time from the busy timetable, where we are. Okay, it's nice that I got this opportunity, but yes, wherever we are, if we are in a busy schedule, we need to make time for ourselves. Take a break from time to time throughout the day and allow oneself to really be nurtured. My soul can only be nurtured if I allow myself that space and time to experience those moments of silence. And more I allow this to happen, two things happens as a result of this. And these two powers are very important in our Brahmin life to anyone, even in the Lokik world. Power to discern and power to judge. Power to discern, um, Nirnay Shakti and Parak Shakti. These are the two things, two powers that we are able to experience. I'm able to make right decision for myself. I'm able to judge for myself. Not judging others, but judging myself. Where am I at? What am I doing? Not that I'm mistaken, something that is wrong. I discern that incorrectly, and at that time, I feel that's the right thing to do for me. So, really, the most elevated thought that I create for myself will be the thought that helps me to move forward and make right decision. So the power of concentration will help me to see myself, to discern where I'm at, and to take the right decision. See, many a times this is where we get lapsed, and we either misunderstand or misjudge, and that's where we make a mistake. For Baba's children, making a mistake now is becoming more and more subtler. And I need to discern, and for that, I need a very clear intellect. I cannot go wrong because there is no time. When I say I cannot go wrong, meaning if I make a mistake, I make wrong judgments for myself, then my time is wasted. Then I have to start from scratch. In that respect, I don't want to lose time. We have to reach to our destination. In that respect, I say that we cannot make wrong decisions, wrong judgments for ourselves. So, in order for us to save time, I allow myself to make not just the right decision, but that which is appropriate according to the current times. And so that will enrich me, but also will bring blessings to me. You see, other observation that I've had whilst being here, it's very important. I can do a lot of seva, a lot of service, but how much blessings am I experiencing? You know, the word that we use here is dua. So when I give happiness to others, happiness to the self, but also happiness to others, then you are actually planting those seeds of charitable actions, charitable deeds that's going to bring you blessings. And these are the blessings that will enable me to move forward and do the right thing, will help me. It's the energy. You know, all this is generating energy. When I'm doing anything wrong, I know I'm doing wrong. Maybe you don't know what I'm doing, but the vibrations that will come out, the energy that is connected to that, because I am also emanating energy. If I've done something wrong, I know I've done something wrong. You don't know. But my soul is emanating that energy. And that energy is not healthy energy for me, but also not healthy energy for the atmosphere. And so, therefore, as a result of that, what happens is that I feel low. I'm at my low esteem. I'm feeling a little bit disheartened. And I'm not able to make fast progress. I want to, but something is stopping me from going forward. So what is stopping me from going forward? It's actually my own energy. So this is where we have to pay attention that I don't generate negative energy for myself. You know, I have to be so aware because now the time is less. We have to be so focused, so attentive. And remember what Baba is saying. We cannot afford to not remember. Now, this is something I mentioned in the earlier lines, memory. I need to remember. What else am I remembering? I ask myself a question. If I don't remember what Baba is saying, what is in my buddhi, in my intellect? If in my intellect, I have what, trivial things, news about the world, what other people are doing and saying, or something that are, past history, it's history, or past hurts, or bad feelings, or bad whatever, memories. If I'm carrying that, 80% of my memory, which has, it has got a capacity of 100% the memory the sanskars has got that bit in it which actually collects all the memory. But if I am not fully utilizing positively, then what happens is that I'm not able to grasp, I'm not able to remember. And I feel at that moment I'm forgetting something, but it's not coming to me. And so, one thing that helps us in power of concentration is to constantly check, what am I doing with my, my mind? Is my mind going in the past, and remembering those past things, or collecting the current information, all that, you see, and relating all that? How am I using my senses? So these are the different behavior pattern that I see that we can actually cut. They are like frills, and I can cut them, and I don't need it, because I'm absolutely sincere and serious about my ekagrata and my connection with Baba. Because all these things actually helps me to connect with Baba. And when I say connect with Baba, for Baba's children, currently our connection is like, it's like you touch the button and the light comes on. You don't have to put any effort, you don't have to put any force, you just have to touch it. But nowadays, it's not even that, it's actually sensor lights. You're just walking and there's light. So, this is what I find whilst being here, that our connection, relationship with Baba should be such, as soon as I have a thought, I, the soul, I'm connected with Baba. It's just that connection happens in fractions of seconds, doesn't take long. And I'm able to really absorb whatever it is I want now. Because now is the time to radiate constantly. What Baba is saying, that the souls of the world are distressed, they are peaceless. And one of the things that we become is, we become a beacon of peace, really, embodiment of peace. Wherever you go, you actually emanate peace. You don't even say a word, but your presence automatically radiates peace. That's how currently Baba wants Baba's children, all of us, to be. The word Baba used few months ago was that walking, talking museum. That's what he wants us to be. So it's an experience. But we have to invest time to bring ourselves to that level. So I don't experience the heat of anger, somebody's anger, sorrow that exists around us, peacelessness, the distress, that people are experiencing. In fact, I am embodiment of peace to such an extent that I'm able to radiate constantly like a lighthouse, and they are experiencing, they are feeling it. So according to time, Baba wants us to do this service, which Baba calls it Mansa Seva. But Baba said few days ago, we have to do this double Seva, service through words and mind has to happen simultaneously. So as I'm talking, I'm actually in that experience. And you are also on that, you are also experiencing that level of energy. So I'm not leaving you behind, you are not down there, but actually my presence or the energy that I radiate, I automatically brought you to that level where you also are in that experience. Imagine just a day ago, Baba had said that what we have to do. This is what we have to do. In order to constantly answer Baba's questions, in order to constantly be what Baba wants us to be, I have to do constantly that inner work on myself on daily basis. So that happens when there is power of concentration. I'm not letting my mind fluctuate. I'm not allowing my intellect to be engaged anywhere else. I'm absolutely present in front of Baba. Because now is the time when Baba is giving us the touchings. He's giving us the signals. We have to be absolutely viceless, free of any vices. Our intellect is absolutely connected to one. There is no rust on it. It's clean and it's able to do what Baba wants us to do. Because we are all of us are world benefactors. Baba has given us this title. Baba has given us this title of world benefactors. So I was thinking that Baba is giving us so many titles. Am I able to hold that title? It is my self-respect if I'm able to do that. If I can hold that, I'm also deeply, expressing my respect for Baba. I'm honoring Baba. Something that Baba has been saying from past few murlis, purity, the power of purity. This is the power of purity. So within the power of concentration, actually concentration is the foundation upon which we can actually rise beyond and not touch the ground. When I say ground, is ground of body consciousness. Any sort of body conscious acts doesn't touch me. I'm beyond. Imagine if we can all do this and we can all experience this, no matter where we are at, or no matter where we are placed in the world, we are able to fulfill the aim that Baba has given. Because really any moment, so many Baba's children, Brahmins, so many in different parts of the world have actually physically left the bodies. Many Baba's children are unwell, but also many are doing amazing service, are doing what Baba wants us to do. So you could see all these things happening now. And so I choose what I have to do now. So the call of the time now for us is to be so focused, so aware, so attentive. Remember remember and remember. I feel very strongly in myself that if I don't remember what Baba says, what else am I able to remember? And I ask myself a question, why am I not able to remember? So, concentration power is very, very important. But at the same time, I know that there are physical limitations. Sometimes, some people have, you know, chemical deficiency in their body, in their brains. Some people have sometimes, different um, things in life which is not together. For example, some people are not able to sleep properly. Some people are not able to have proper nourishing food. So there are so many factors, physical factors that actually comes to play, where people have given a reason why they can't concentrate, they can't remember, why they can't pay attention. So I feel that many a times when we have a discussion, it's good to help one another and help find solution. If someone cannot sleep, we need to ask ourselves questions. I need to prepare myself. We all know that the blue light will keep us awake. There are so many things that deceives us, so I have to be aware of that. And if I can rectify all those physical things which are limitations to this body, so that I can rise above this physical and mental state, because some people do have some chemical deficiency either in the brain, and that needs to be answered. I mean, solution has to be found, and there are solutions in the world today. And so, of course, we are very fortunate, very lucky that we can connect with Baba, the Supreme, our mother and father. We have all relationships with Baba. Enjoy those relationships. Enjoy ample of beautiful, rich knowledge that Baba is sharing. And together with that, we also share. And so sharing is also another way of expressing whatever it is that I am filled with. I'm filled with Baba's energy, and I want to share with everyone. So I need to express it in whatever way, by doing something, or by sharing knowledge, or by giving happiness, giving someone some comfort. So there are so many different expressions of giving happiness. And so all these things will enable me to maintain that inner dignity, inner state of peace, and also constant practice of going into silence and deep silence and dead silence. All these things really will help me to have very powerful power of concentration. And so silence, I would say, plays very important role. And other powers comes to play one by one as I develop this power to concentrate. Um, am I running out of my time now?
No, Sister Jaymini, you're fine.
Am I?
No, no, no.
I'm aware of the time.
Yes. We do
I
have
see,
a few questions.
yeah, I also see Mira Ben there. It would be
Yes.
nice to hear from her. Mira Ben, very nice to see you. Have I run my time or?
Perhaps we can go to the Q&A now. We do
Okay,
have a
fine.
few questions. Yeah. So the first question, uh, I feel very overwhelmed since the pandemic because there are so many programs online, classes and sharings by seniors, and also other programs that I don't want to miss. Can you hear me, sister?
I can, you are a bit faint. I don't know
Oh,
why.
okay. I'll be louder then.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So since the pandemic, I've been quite overwhelmed because there are so many programs online. Can you hear me, sister? Can
Yes,
you?
I can hear you.
So there are so many programs that and classes, very interesting classes, sharing by seniors, and I want to listen to all of them. And at the same time, I don't have the time for it, and so I feel that I'm losing out, and I'm quite worried. So, what do you think I should do?
Um, Actually, I see that it's very interesting. This is where a test paper comes in also for when it comes to power to concentrate. Ekagrata is a lovely word in Hindi. The power to concentrate is the translation. I mean, I'm not so keen on it, but that's the nearest word Miraben can add in there. Ekagrata is to be more focused, one in one. So the thing is, I need to look at my own capacity and see how much I can absorb. I mean, there are beautiful programs, whatever is going on online now, everyone have access to it. But then I heard, see, for instance, I heard all of it. Am I able to retain it? What has it done to me? So, how can I use my time well if I have 1 hour or 2 hours where I can spend time listening to these things? After having heard or during that time, am I retaining? Am I practicing? Am I able to experience that in my life? So one need to ask oneself questions. So it's good. I mean, if I have capacity to listen to everything and implement on everything, that's very good, excellent, 100 out of 100. But I rather choose one thing and practice that. Spend time, go into silence more and more so nowadays, and really experience that I've attained something rather than, flitting around in all these different places. And at the end of it, I'm very anxious and I haven't retained anything. You know, what do you think?
Yeah, I think yeah, you're right, Sister Jamie. I think we should focus on one, and we just follow that. There are some programs we have like it's on a daily basis. Uh, I remember Sister Mohini's program from New York. I do follow that. So perhaps we can choose one and then something that we can listen to regularly and practice. Can you hear
Yeah.
me, Sister Jamie?
Yes, I can. I'm losing you.
Okay. Um, so the next question, fear and anxiety, are they the suffering of karma? Are we settling karma through that?
Well, I mean, fear and anxiety, these are very current things which not necessarily that I'm settling. I won't look at it like that, that it's settlement of karma. Where does fear come from? Why do I have fear? Sometimes, yes, it's going back to many births if we look at it deeply. And if I'm aware of the fear and we know what is the other side of fear, I need to look at each one of us, we are different. If I fear a personality, a person, I fear object, I fear situations. So they are all different. Fear generally is something that I can bring myself out. If I can use the positive knowledge, if I can use knowledge positively, effectively, and free myself of fear, rather than saying that, okay, I'm settling, maybe it's from the past. No, I need to work on myself currently to see how I can become free from fear. So I don't focus on fear, but I focus on becoming powerful in myself. It means that I recall my self respect, I master almighty authority, I'm fearless, you know, I'm a Shakti. So I need to recall this until I become a Shakti, because we are reawakening. We are now going into the depth of ourselves, and really, once again, we are reawakening that which is dormant. You know, all these powers which we have in us, which are dormant. And now we are activating them. So, more I do that, you know, fear will disappear. Fear is body consciousness, it's ego, you know, arrogance of the body. I'm fearing this, fearing that. But as I do this inner work, fear disappears. You know, fear is darkness. If I can enlighten myself enough, darkness will finish. I'm actually out of darkness. I won't even realize that I've moved out of darkness. So let's not focus on fear. Let's not focus on anxiety. Anxiety, again, it's a feeling, very deep emotion, deep rooted emotion. You know, when we see things around us in our own lives which are so uh, unreliable, we are convinced, and we have this anxiety, we have this fear, we create that for ourselves. We need to change the mindset and make it so powerful. So, this is where we have to feed our mind with powerful doses of knowledge. You know, feed the mind with powerful, nourishing food, and that is thoughts, the powerful thoughts. And that's up to me, you know. So, whatever I think, it's the food for my mind. So, that is what I choose to feed myself. You know, I'm feeding myself fear, I'm feeding myself anxiety, I'm feeding myself worry, I'm feeding. So I have to stop doing that consciously if I really want to come out of it. So I cannot put everything on karmic accounts. You understand? Is it okay?
Okay, sister.
They,
Yes. Okay.
thank.
Next question. How to overcome difficulties in concentration when there is suffering and pain of the illness and karma? And this person would like you to share Dadi's experience and method. You
So
did share
you've
today.
got two questions in one. So one, how can I become free from the difficulties? And what did you say?
She how to overcome difficulties in concentration, how to concentrate when there's pain,
Hmm.
to illness and suffering of the karma. I think
Hmm.
she wants to know Dadi's experience and methods.
Well, Dadi's methods are very simple. I said she will not remember any human being. You know, in what I shared my experience about Dadi's in 80s, in those days, she will never tell us she's got a headache or she's got problem in her stomach. She has never said that. So this is one thing, her methodology is not to discuss. More you come into words about something, it creates atmosphere. It's in the atmosphere. And everybody else is talking about it. So it's actually multiplying. So instead of the discomfort going away, in fact, it's not going away, you are being reminded more and more because everybody else is now thinking about it. And so it's multiplying. So Dadi's methodology is to be silent, to be detached from the body, to connect. She's not ignoring her body, to connect with Baba, the Supreme Surgeon. That is her relationship. And Baba will automatically inspire, touch the right person, will come in front of her, and give her the right solution. This has happened to her many times. You know, once Baba said, Sakar Baba had said, Brahma Baba had said to her, a time will come when opticians, meaning ophthalmologists, will actually come to you at your home, wherever you are. You know, Baba has said that to her. You won't believe, in London, Dadi had some very severe problem of eyes. This must be 2000 and something. So, ophthalmologist literally came, and after 4 o'clock meditation, 4:45, because he lives quite far away. So he brought all his equipment and we set it up in Dadi's room, and he actually checked Dadi thoroughly. She had a problem in her eyes. So it happened. Dadi has a lot of patience. So another third point is to always be very patient. When you are peaceful in yourself, truly peaceful, you will be patient. If you haven't got that peace, you will have no patience. So I would say inculcate patience, but first be peaceful. Yeah? And you can overcome all the difficulties. Difficulties are no more difficulties. They actually become an opportunities. Many times, you know, those difficulties have actually become an instrument to serve many souls. So it was not a difficulty, like we didn't complain that, you know, this is a difficulty for Dadi. It was not, but it was an opportunity for all of us to tap into our contacts and bring them closer to Dadi and expose them to Dadi that they'd never had that experience before. So those people were served. So it was not a difficulty for Dadi. So really the whole mindset, how we look at things, how we integrate that, how we act, all that counts. It's small, but it in a practicality, it's a very big thing.
Okay, sister. Thank you for the sharing. We do have a few more. Shall
We
I?
have time.
Yes, just a few more. I seem to be able to focus very well in my Lokic responsibilities. However, when it comes to my spiritual effort, I seem to be very distracted. I do not know why that happens, even though I put in a lot of effort. That's the question.
Yes, many times, you know, we when we say that we put effort in the spiritual life. In fact, if I really put effort in my spiritual life, I will get the result. I will get the outcome. But I need to check myself that in the Lokic life, whatever it is I'm doing, I'm being accustomed, I'm used to, I'm trained. So it's become my second nature. There's no difficulty. I don't find it difficult. But you see, I have not made yet my spiritual endeavor, my spiritual life to be my second nature. All this that I do is something that I'm doing for my own spirit, for my own Atma. Because whatever I'm doing for my physical, I know that if I were to leave this body, all that will remain here. But whatever it is I've done for my own spirit, for my own Atma, it's going to be going with me. It's my property. You know, I have right over it. And that's what is going to bring me the future reward. So I have to be aware of it in that way and place value for my spiritual endeavor, my spiritual life. I need to pay value. I need to give value to my spiritual life and make it important in that way. You see, and not let it be ordinary. You see, the spiritual life, sometimes we make it ordinary, for the sake of it. But everything else is around the physical attainments, position, whatever it is. But I have to turn it around. That will automatically happen if I pay more attention to my spiritual endeavor, my physical life, my whatever the mundane or my professional life I'm in, that will be taken care of. That has an impact. So whatever work I do on my spirit, it's going to impact my physical life and my surrounding, my family, my work, everything will be impacted. And it carries vibrations, you see.
Sister, right now we have about 300 souls who have tuned in and they're listening to us. Sister
Thank
Jaymini,
you.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I think we can go to the last question, sister. Can I go to the last
Yes,
question?
okay.
How do you maintain silence? So we need silence in order to concentrate. We need to practice silence. But how do you practice silence when there are small children at home? And sometimes
Very good
very
question.
noisy.
Yes. See, there are moments, I know that every BK household, we have a place allocated for meditation. I know that even in the Lokik world today, people who are not in Gyan on this path, but in their own way, they have some sort of silent prayer room. Many people have that space. So it would be nice to integrate in the day-to-day lifestyle, even for the children, to talk to the children and explain to them the importance of spending moments in the quiet, quiet time. For them, it's a quiet time because it's very hard sometimes for children to understand silence, because silence can be misinterpreted. And so for us, silence means a lot spiritually, as we are practicing this uh, depth of knowledge. But children in our household, they would more relate to a quiet places or quiet spaces. And it would be nice to also explain to them the importance and the strength and the caliber of those quiet spaces in their life. So, talking to the children about the importance, giving them examples of what's happening in the world around, in the schools and all that, the noise, and how these quiet spaces will impact those minds, their minds, and their relationship and their interactions. I think it has to be taken in steps and has to be more dialogued with the children, and they have to be kind of on the same platform rather than talking to them like a children, but they are like adults, seeing them as a soul, like what we are learning, because they also, the soul, need that peace, so putting it to them in such a way that they also, children, feel, no, this is important for me, so when they are restless, they also would begin to go into those spaces of quiet spaces. For us it's silence, for them it's quiet spaces. And so really using the terminology that they understand to relate to those quiet spaces and the importance of spending that quiet time. And then they can actually measure the outcome, the productivity which comes out of it is great, to show them, so to have a constant dialogue, I think, would work with the children. Is it okay?
Yeah, thank you, sister. I think that's a very good idea. The quiet space. I think we can do that in classrooms too, in schools.
Hmm.
Yeah. So thank you so much for all your response. I think it was so meaningful, so practical. Thank you, thank you. I know we had a few here for you to manage, and but lovely. It was wonderful that, especially that is experience. I think we learned a lot from you from this sharing. So, Sister Gemini, can we move on to meditation now?
Yes, that's fine. But can I speak? Can I hear something from Miraben?
Yeah, Sister Didi is going to have say a few words after that, after meditation.
Okay, because
Yeah.
it will be nice to hear from Miraben.
Yes,
Miraben?
definitely.
Okay,
Yeah,
good. So,
meditation first. Okay.
yeah, okay, fine. You want me to say a commentary?
Yes, please.
Okay, fine. As I sit here in the quiet space of my room, I allow my thoughts to experience that space. My thoughts are still and stable. The intellect is focused. As I experience the inner stillness in my mind, in this quiet space, I find myself comfortable and more at peace. And this peace is the bed of beautiful surrounding all around my being. There is nothing but peace all around. I breathe peace. I feel peace. I think peace. I am peace. This enables me to further my journey into silence, more deeper space. The reservoir of deep silence is the magical place. My intellect is absolutely focused. Thoughts are still. As a result, my mind has stopped wandering, fluctuating. I am experiencing bliss. I'm uplifted and transformed. I am powerhouse. I generate immense power of silence, which leads me to deep silence, which is transforming. I am renewed. I am a being of light. I feel very uplifted. And this enables me to be myself in total control and disciplined. This becomes my second nature. I am a benevolent soul. I radiate love, compassion, mercy, constantly sharing through my persona. In this way, I am fulfilled. I am powerful soul. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
So now Mira Didi has been with us from the beginning, and I think it's time for us to hear a few words from Mira Didi.
Sorry about that. Thank you, sister.
Didi, you have to unmute.
Okay, now. Okay.
Yes.
Gemini, when you abbreviate the name, it is Jayamani, which is jewel of victory. So, new name for Gemini Ben from today, Jayamani.
Thank you.
So, on behalf of the Malaysia family, I would like to take this opportunity to extend a warm, warm welcome to you to
Thank
Malaysia
you.
virtually.
Thank you. Thank you.
Actually, we had invited Gemini Ben to come to Malaysia for Raksha Bandhan last year. And we had already made all the arrangement, booking, and everything was done. She was almost coming, but then drama changed. So since then, I had the thought that we have to bring her sometimes. So then I came to know that she is in Shantivan with Hansa Ben. So I grabbed this opportunity to talk to her. I know how long she's going to be in India, and it is possible for the sustenance class we have every month in Malaysia. So she really accepted.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Actually, myself and Gemini Ben, we are very old spiritual friends since 1977.
Yes.
Since then, I have been going to London, and I have seen Gemini Ben coming from home, locking job, and how she
Yes.
has changed and how she became Dadi's.
You are my inspiration, Miraben. I've learned a lot from you.
So many things to share a lot every time we meet. And I think this is a very good opportunity. You know, you are so close to Malaysia. Uh, Shantivan, Ahmedabad, Malaysia.
That's right.
Still physically difficult to come nowadays. But of course, Baba is teaching us now to travel to the subtle region. So this is also an experience. So it was a great opportunity for us to listen to you, you know.
Thank you.
And so many thanks on behalf of the Malaysia family. And I hope if you are still in India, so let us know. We can invite you another time.
Mirabin, I also feel that Madhuban is missing foreigners.
Yeah, I know.
I'm here and I can see that everybody's just waiting for the foreigners to come. And I'm just waiting for that day when you will all come here.
So we met with Nirmala Ben today. We had Asia's and Asia National Coordinators meeting, and asked her, when will the double foreigners be able to come? She said, we don't know. Drama has to let us know when.
Yeah.
But I think we are all getting used to the Avyakt Milan. We are getting used to become more subtle, because now all the meetings has to be in the subtle region. So Baba is training us. I hope you are enjoying being in Shantivan, and
Yes, I'm learning. I'm learning a lot, and it's an opportunity also for me.
also
Thank
a
you.
good opportunity to be with Hansaben. We would like
Yeah,
to get Hansaben also sometime to
yeah,
share
it will
her
be nice.
secrets with Dadi. We heard a little bit in the silence retreat, but
Yeah.
on her own she can share.
Yes, I'm
Because
sure you can find this time is good time, Miraben.
she said that is month, so we will try to see. You
Yeah.
talk to her and let us know. We will arrange one session.
Okay.
She
I'll
can
ask her.
first-hand experience with Dadi.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
thank you
Thank
so much,
you, Miraben.
Jemima, and we
Thank
will
you.
see you again next time. We all
Thank
enjoy
you. Yeah,
your
thank you so much to everyone. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Shanti. We'll have a song to finish with.
Yeah.
की शक्ति से शांति जग में लानी है, शांति की शक्ति से शांति जग में लानी है।
शांत मन हो तन हो शीतल, शांत मन हो तन हो शीतल,
ऐसी दुनिया बनानी है, शांति की शक्ति से शांति जग में लानी है, शांति की शक्ति से।
आदि गुण अनादि रूप, शांति तेरा है अधिकार, तेरे दैवी राज स्वर्ग में शांति की थी सदा बहार।
शांति की किरणों से, शांति की किरणों से करुणा अब बरसानी है, शांति की शक्ति से शांति जग में लानी है, शांति की शक्ति से। श्रेष्ठ कर्म का बीज शांति, इसमें छिपा है सुख का सार, दिव्य गुणों की खान यही है, शांति में है शिव का प्यार। तड़पती हुई हर एक आत्मा, तड़पती हुई हर एक आत्मा, प्यास सबकी बुझानी है। शांति की शक्ति से शांति जग में लानी है, शांति की शक्ति से।
I think all of you can open your cameras so she can have a vision of all of you. Please open all your cameras, unmute. So Jaymini Ben can have a vision of all of you. Full screen. Have a look.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.